Par 15. Par 15.
The question now that's on the board is Steph Curry not clutch? You know Rob thinks he's not clutch. All my lessons I've taught Rob about this, all the schooling I've given him, he's still holding on to that theory. Because now, here's the number, Steph Curry, according to ESPN, 0 for 12 in the playoffs on potential go-ahead shots in the last 45 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime. 0 for 12. So here's my take on this. Because that look, that's an ugly number. And it's a fact. So here's my thoughts on it. Is Steph Curry clutch?
No.
Yes. Because I don't view clutch as the last shot. I don't view clutch as what you do in 10 seconds or whatever.
Well, what is clutch then? What when you the first thing you think about when you hear clutch is in the big moments, right? Like at the end of the games. That's clutch, right? Can we all agree that's clutch? I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
5 seconds, 2 seconds. I view clutch as what you do in the big moment.
That's the end of the game is big moments, Chris. That's big moments, bro. You just answered your own question. You describe clutch with the same definition. You just worded it different.
I do want to say, Chris, I listened to your double talk because that's what it was,
How's
double talk. Because you can't, you talk about, well, he's had clutch performances, but I will admit he hadn't been clutch. This is my,
I didn't
this
say
is
he hadn't
always,
been clutch.
this has always been my argument about Steph Curry. That if you're going to call somebody the greatest anything of all time, you're going to nitpick about his resume. That's all I've ever said. Not that he's a bum, not that he can't make three-point shots or whatever, but that I would not give him the ball at the end of a game and I would pick other people over him. That's why I've always said I can't consider him the greatest shooter of all time because his resume is void. Anybody who watched last night, void of those moments that you normally have when you're of that ilk. When people talk about, oh my God, Steph Curry's unbelievable. Did you see him tie the game last night against the Lakers or win it or whatever it is, a shot? No, people don't say that because he hasn't been able to do it. And now we're at the point now where it ain't the sample size. Is she?
I think my bad, y'all. Clearing my throat. Uh, I wouldn't. First, we need to ask Rob who he think is the greatest shooter. I don't know why nobody ever asked him that. Who he thinks is the greatest shooter. I don't think it's Steph either. I think it's KD or Larry Bird. One of them two. It's to me, it's between them two. I don't know which one. But I'm not gonna not say Steph ain't the greatest shooter because he's not clutch. I mean, he make a good point, but at the same time, I don't think that's a big enough reason to say, strip him of the title of greatest shooter ever just because he don't come up in the clutch. I think that should be a different conversation of if he's clutch or not if he's not the best shooter.
Huge. 0 for 12 is a real sample. That ain't like 3 shots and he missed all 3. 12 shots. But I'm telling you this, Chris, after last night, there's now doubt from other people who maybe were in that camp or maybe look at him a little different than they did just one night before. That's all I'll say.
Like who?
Like, I'm just saying fans. Because fans, people are like,
You saw stuff
okay.
on Twitter or something?
No, people hit me up. I got students. I got people who argue with me left and right. If I showed you my email from students who are the biggest Steph Curry guys and argue with me in class, all text me or email me last night and go, kind of see what you're talking about now. That's it. They didn't concede or say that they gave it up, but now they have a big sample size, and they looked at last night as something that you really tangible could look at, and now have some doubt about him being the greatest shooter of all time.
My thing is, how does you said you don't have these moments? People don't talk about, wow, did you see Steph last night? Really?
No, I'm talking about to win at the end of the game.
Oh, at the end of a game.
Yeah,
I'll give you, he hasn't hit those shots at the end of the game. But it don't matter at the end of the game if you don't deliver for 40 minutes.
No, that's a cop-out, Chris.
How's
That's
that a
not how it
cop-out?
goes.
It's a game. Really?
That's not
Says
how
who?
it goes.
Says who?
Says me. Says
Okay, that's
because
you,
because
but
we
that
talk
ain't
about
everything.
because
A
we
game
talk
is
about
not
the
10
end of the
seconds
game.
long.
We talk
A
about
game is
Chris. The biggest heroes hit the home run in the ninth inning, not strike out, and you go, well, he had 3 home runs in the first 8 innings. He's a great player. If he strikes out in the ninth,
give me the Larry Bird
if you
shot
strike
you
out
remember
at
at
the
the end
ninth-
of a game to win the game.
Chris, I'm talking about.
Give it to me.
I'm talking about. I don't have everybody's resume in front of me. I don't have everybody's.
I
But
bet
Steph
you can name
Curry's
Michael Jordan.
But Steph Curry, I have. And yes, I was in Cleveland covering the game when Michael Jordan made the shot to win the series.
So is
not
Michael
to win
Jordan
the
a better
game.
shooter than Steph Curry?
No, I would give Michael Jordan the ball to win the game any
Is he
day
a
over
better
Steph
shooter?
Curry. That's what I'm
Your
telling you.
point is Steph's not the best
No,
shooter.
he's not the greatest.
Is Michael Jordan
He's
a better shooter?
That's not the Steph
At
is
the
not
end
the
of a
greatest
game,
shooter.
at the end of a game,
No,
I would give
Steph
it to
is
Jordan, who's not nearly as good a shooter as Steph Curry. But does that mean?
Let's see how to look at this, because Chris make a good point too. Curry shoots well from the 3, and he's good on the rest of the floor. Mike shot well from the mid range. He didn't shoot the 3 like that. He shot mostly, mid range area. Curry mostly shoot out in the 3. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I look at Curry's a great shooter. I look at a player. Can you shoot well from the, in the mid-range area and in the 3? That's how I look at it. Not just primarily the mid-range and primarily the 3-point shot. Can you do both? And then you got to look at shot mechanics. Do we got a jump shot? I don't know.
That's what you're saying. Does that mean he's a better shooter than Steph?
I'm telling you that Steph is not the greatest shooter because he doesn't come through when you need him. That is a big
Game
part of
7
being the
Sacramento,
greatest.
You didn't need him?
No.
That wasn't the moment where they needed him?
He played fine. He played great. That's
Fine?
good.
He
But
had
0 for
50.
12 tells you, 0 for 12 tells you that there's something missing there. That
And
I
you
don't
say,
know.
I got double talk?
That Steph's shorts are brown or something happens. I don't know what happens, but he can't make those shots. And he had open looks last night to help his team and to give them a shot at this series and tie it, or at least give them a chance to win. And it didn't happen yet again. That's all. And everybody watching with your own eyes, you can deny it all you want, but your eyes will tell you that Steph isn't clutch. And when you're not clutch and you look at somebody's total resume, he can make all the logo threes and dipsy doodle and shoot from half court and 3/4. All those are great circus shots. Give me the money shot. I want the money shot. And
Yo.
Steph has crapped out when it comes to the money shot.
Yo. Pause, bro. Pause.
And there's no denying that. That's not hate. These are
No, that's
facts,
fine.
not feelings.
If you want to, he hit 7 threes and scores 36 points in Game 7. Those are all clutch shots.
They're not all clutch.
Yeah, they are.
That's not
Game is
clutch. No,
It's
it's
a
not.
must-win game.
No, but they're not all clutch.
If
Right.
you don't
That's
hit
not how
those
it's
shots,
played.
you ain't gonna be close at the end.
No, that's
Really?
too-
You
yes,
are?
Yes. No, that's not. Those are not what you consider. Those are a part of the game, And then
Yeah,
there
but
becomes
that's
becomes
not
clutch
in a
moments.
vacuum.
The first basket he scored, Chris, was clutch in that game in Game 7. The first basket was clutch.
The whole game.
No,
is
I'm
No,
asking
it's
you.
not.
The first basket was it
Yes.
clutch?
He be lying.
If it's a win or go home
No, it
game,
ain't.
the whole
first
48
basket
minutes.
is not clutch.
So then were you
This
never
dude, Chris, always be lying with for the light skinned dudes. He gonna change. Why is everybody trying to change the definition of shit? Giannis trying to change the definition of failure. Chris trying to change the definition of clutch. Fans on Twitter trying to change the definition of creating super teams so they can fit their narrative. Definitions don't change, man. Failure is failure. Creating a super team is creating a super team. And clutch is clutch. They only do it with certain players. If it was anybody else, oh yeah, he ain't clutch.
in a relationship or even know of somebody in a relationship where one of the parties was like, look,
Bro, look at his
I don't
face,
wanna
bro.
break up, but I want to date other people.
My boy
You mean
high
my
as hell.
marriage? Or you trying to talk about what happened in my marriage?
You know what I'm saying? What, Rob, once you say that,
I agree with you. Once you start naming who would you like to go out, I don't want to go anywhere. But if I'm going anywhere, you know your friend Betty and
Right,
Sue
she's fine.
and yeah, she's fine. And Thelma with the big butt, yeah, like those
Thelma.
three. I'm interested in meeting those three if we ever break up. Right.
And my boy is showing his age. Betty, Thelma, Mary Lou.
Start naming people. That's bad.
bad sign, man. That's a bad. And here's the other thing I'll say, Robin, why I'm on Russ's side. The Seahawks haven't been a great organization without him. They had a nice little run in the kind of the early 2000s. They had Sean Alexander. Where remember they got to the Super Bowl and they lost, but they got there. But that was it. They've never had won a Super Bowl before Russ. They would
Chris,
get there
I
maybe.
think-
But hold on, let me
you know
finish.
what?
They
Go ahead.
weren't a great franchise, Rob. They never had a franchise quarterback. And with the years, look, 4 straight years before Russ got there, they had losing records. So we can talk all about the Legion of Boom, which was legit, but all of those guys didn't go there the same year Russ got there. Russ took them immediately from, let me finish. Russ took them immediately from 7-9 back-to-back seasons, 5-11 before that.
Look at his
4-12
face,
before
bro.
that. And they haven't won fewer than 9 games since he's been there. This dude had a lot. I get it. He was a manager. He wasn't Aaron Rodgers. I'm not gonna say that. But and you keep poo-pooing it, but
Bro, Rob always look like you don't supposed to disagree with him. Like he always make that face like I know this nigga just ain't disagree with me.
I think people get it now. Intangibles. This dude's a leader. This dude's a winner. And he immediately turned them. They 11 wins and then 13 wins and they win a Super Bowl.
Chris,
So,
he's the
Pete
same
Carroll's
guy.
What's Pete Carroll done in the NFL without Russ?
He's the
Nothing.
same guy who's never gotten an MVP vote. Never.
Fine.
No,
You and I
don't.
talked
Wait a
about
minute. You
that. It's
just
not
made
like
your
the
point.
NBA.
You made your point. Let me make mine. And I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bum, but to put it all on Russ when they had Marshawn
I'm not
Lynch, one of the
putting it
best
all on
running
him. I'm
backs,
just saying,
and
give
to
him some
act like
credit.
he's the only reason why they've been good is a
Lynch
false
was
narrative.
there. Lynch-
It was.
My bad, y'all. I gotta say this. How come anytime somebody give credit to a player, he always think people giving all the credit to the player? Niggas be like, oh, Tom Brady played well. We're always acting like it's always Tom Brady. I didn't say that. Nobody's saying that. We said give credit to Brady. We gave credit to Brady. Nobody said Brady won 7 Super Bowls by himself. We give him credit. Let's say Brady led them to the Super Bowl. We didn't say it was all Tom Brady.
About the
several
Legion of
years
Boom.
before.
It wasn't
Lynch
only
was there
about
when they were
Russ.
7-9.
It wasn't only
Lynch was
about
there
Russ.
when they were 7-9.
Nah, I'm not buying that, and that's why I don't
You
want a
ain't
guy.
buying facts.
I don't want a guy who doesn't want to be there. If Russ wants to go to the Cowboys or the Raiders, let him go.
I mean, that's
Let him
fine.
go.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you know
was
what? He could have
mediocre
won
in
2
New
Super
England.
Bowls if Russell Wilson didn't
Well,
throw that
he hadn't
interception.
made that ridiculous play call, too.
Well, if
Russ
Russell Wilson
not
is
innocent.
he has intangibles, so he should have changed the play at the line of scrimmage. He should have improvised. He should have realized it was a dumb play and did something else if he has the intangible.
Did you say that about Aaron Rodgers?
The intangible.
Did you say that about
Here we
Aaron
go.
Rodgers?
Here we freaking go. This is what I can't stand about doing this show with you. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about Russell Wilson. That's your freaking buzzword. Talk about the topic. We're talking about Russell Wilson.
You the one
My God.
a bunch
This
at
is
the
the
mention
dumbest
of Aaron Rodgers.
sugar honey iced tea
Go
I
walk
ever
away.
talked
Go
about.
walk away.
Bye.
You can't go walk away.
No, because it's dumb. This is the dumbest radio I've ever done. Freaking dumb.
877-99 on stated because I've already stated. But it was to say all those that have disagreed, you might agree now. The discussion's over. And I want to give a few things why. I don't know where you're at on this, Rob. I got a feeling. But here's why I'm saying Steph is all time, or top 10. Greatest shooter ever. Changed the game tremendously. Defied conventional wisdom and changed it. Like Michael Jordan changed conventional wisdom. When Michael Jordan entered the league, the feeling was you can't build a dynasty or a championship team, and certainly not a dynasty around a two guard. You were gonna be better than Jerry West. He couldn't. He won one championship. Can't build a dynasty around a two guard. Jordan changed that. Conventional wisdom's changed. Steph's changed that. I've told the story, Rob, when I saw LeBron.
This nigga playing crossword puzzles and shit.
2015 finals.
Acting like he busy.
And I said, does this Warriors team remind you of the Spurs that you played in 2014? He's like, nah. He chuckled. Nah. They don't have a Duncan, they this and that. He said, a jump shooting team can't win a championship. Well, that was conventional wisdom. LeBron wasn't being crazy. That's how everybody felt. But now that's changed. Conventional wisdom has changed. You can be a jump shooting team. In fact, you better be a jump shooting team if you want to win a championship. He had the highest scoring Game 7 ever, obviously. Only unanimous MVP. One of only two players ever to win multiple championships, lead their teams to multiple championships, without a top 75 teammate. Him and Kobe Bryant, the only ones to do it. 27 points a game is his average in the finals. That's 10th all time. Of those generally in the discussion for top 10 players ever, he's one of only 4 players in the top 10 of that category of final scoring points per game. Jordan, LeBron, Shaq, Steph. 10th all time with 27 points a game in playoff scoring. One of only 3 of the generally recognized guys in the top 10 discussion. Jordan, LeBron, Steph. Not a great defender, but a good, solid defender he has become, and actually got a steals championship. Like, he won the steals he was the steals leader in 2015, 2016. Rob, I'm big on efficiency. It's one reason I don't have Kobe as high as some people do. I got him in top 10, but as high as some people, because his effective field goal percentage, or Kobe wasn't that efficient.
Wow.
Well, Steph is the model of efficiency. In fact, he's the only guard in the history of the NBA, the only guard in the history of the NBA to be in the top 20 of all time in effective field goal percentage. And he's number 14 on the list. Everybody above him is a center except John Collins, who's like a power forward nowadays. And I'm guessing John will drop out of that as time goes on. So obviously the 4 rings, I had to mention that, the 2 MVPs, everybody knows that. So those are some of my reasons, Rob, why I think Steph now is an unimpeachable top 10 player. He's on that list now where you be like, well, who you taking out? Because he's going to be in it. It's who you taking out. When the next person that comes up for the top 10, Steph will be in that group where, well, who you taking out? You know? And I think he's reached that. And yesterday was just more confirmation, and I think may have convinced even more people.
Did not convince me as usual because I look at the whole ball of wax when I even look at that game. Of course, he played great with 50 points. We got that. 38 shots to make 50. He better make 50 with 38 shots in the game. So
you saying he wasn't efficient?
I didn't say that. I said when you take 38 shots, you should score 50 if you're
Really?
Steph Curry. Yeah. 38
Did you say
shots.
That when Jordan
No.
scored 63?
Can you just talk for 10 minutes?
It's a silly. All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's silly. Go ahead.
It is
It is.
silly.
Okay. Yeah.
If you can't take it, get off the air.
Yeah. All right. I'm off the
Go
air.
ahead.
Go ahead.
You done? So it's just my show
Yeah,
today.
your show.
And Rob just brought up a point. 38 shots. Wow. You know how many Michael Jordan took? I mean, did you shoot down Jordan's 63 points? Because some people have tried to do that when, Steph scored 50 because, it's a first round game. What are you talking about? It's a first round game. Well, Jordan 63 was in a first round game. In fact, it was a first round game. He lost. It was a first round game that he was swept in that series. And Jordan shot 22 for 41. I don't remember hearing Rob Parker say, he took 41 shots. He better score 63. I'm just trying to be objective. That's all we trying to do, be objective. That's the best you can do. You know how we come on the odd couple? You got to bring some real stuff. And that wasn't real stuff.
Yeah, man. That's it. Love y'all. Deuces.